being taken by the losers in the last game, but yeah, Game Agents still, I'm calling to take this one. I'm guessing you're gonna go contrarian on me again and
Of
call the other
course.
team. Eh?
How can I not contradict or vote for the other team?
We'll see who's wrong.
It's
Maybe you
pronounced
again.
Honvéd. Yeah, I
Yep.
think it's pronounced Honvéd. Please correct me if I'm wrong. But Lenovo Honvéd, again, a team we haven't seen much of, but I reckon they could do a fair bit against Game Agents. I know they're very well on their qualifier, and they are starting on that favoured CT side. It's going to be a fairly standard buy. Either way, Game Agents opting for 2 smokes, 2 flashes, and a molly as it goes for a fast A execution. Lenovo, their utility, it's already left their hands. It's an early kill, the nade and USB finding Sound and Regali as Fluter able to get close sight, but Q-Pix, he's had enough. He makes it 3 almost and will make it 4. And for Lenovo Honvéd, that's the first round.
If there's anything you should know about this this core that I've been mentioning, wherever they are, it's that they have the pistols players on their team, the Deagles, the USPs. They can make it work, especially sort of the core being CEE, Camper, Q-Pix. I mean, Q-Pix has shown it off there, massive stuff to kick it off. I feel like that's going to do wonders for Honvéd as well, just to get off the mark. Game Agents again, being those slight favorites, maybe. You do just want that head start on them to maybe just keep it going and then see where it goes from there. Sebi going to be challenged here on the B site by the looks of things. Only him towards it, despite the rotation of RB coming through sooner rather than later. That M4 maybe taking care of the rangy opponents, but MP9 doing well in its own right. Place to a start. Game Agents actually being able to trade it out though. 3-on-4 against Lenovo at the moment. Quickly turned around, of course, but Game Agents getting a bomb down here and maybe another frag, possibly. They won't be complaining too much about this round. Spawn does get that next frag as well, but only on 3 health, won't stay alive for long. Nothing to complain about though, there, right?
Not at all. Game Agents, that wasn't a full buy from them. It was kind of deals around the board, hoping to do the odd bit of damage here or there, and damage they did. They're going to get a plant, they're going to find 3 players. Granted, Lenovo Honvéd, they're going to take through their kind of kits, their M4s into the next round, but those players who died, they're going to have to reinvest. Arby, he's only on 3.5k. It means that if Game Agents can take this kind of favoured round with a full buy, it's going to put Lenovo Honvéd straight down onto an eco, and it kind of negates any chance for them to play bonus here.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we do have a scout coming out on Camper as well, who's quite good with those scoped weapons. You'd have to say Camion that would be the one to kick off the frag, and here over by Ivy. It's Q-Pix who's been locked in a little bit in towards Pop Doggy. Pops out at just the right moment, catching out Smack as he was caught with his pants around his ankles. Lenovo Honvéd here are kicking it off nicely. Again, just having that man advantage is it's definitely going to be worth its weight in gold.
Yeah, without a doubt. And Game Agents, now that their kind of response, they've had a moment to kind of react, they've had a moment to kind of breathe for a sec. They kind of establish a control. The sandwich being pushed by Regali, hoping to catch out the odd member early on. And for the Honvéd players, a lot of them are fairly low on HP, so it's by all means easier to get a pick, especially Cambion with only 20 HP. But Regali, the timing's on his side. He's able to get all the way towards Olaf before Q-Pix has been able to spot him. As Q-Pix will fall, it kickstarts a 3 versus 3. The push about to come through from Game Agents. The question is, where are the remaining players for Lenovo? You don't only have a one-man setup on A. There's got to be other players to find. And Serbi goes up for that boost in connector. Looks like we'll see them early on. Sound, he's going to be spotted early on. Cambion going to find him. 2 versus 3 now. 30 seconds left. The kick start for the retake. Camper finds one more. Starboy, or this is Seaboy? That's how you say it. Finds Regali, and the Lenovo Honvéd is a 3-0 lead.
Yeah, just good stuff already. And I do think as the Hungarians get just more and more rounds, Game Agents are going to want to maybe give up more of their laurels and start to push in harder and harder. Maybe no cause for concern yet, though, with only 3 rounds gone. I mean, it's not panic station yet, right? Especially on that T side. I think Game Agents are going to have to start worrying maybe more around closer to 10, put it that way, than what we're on right now. And, well, they do have their first gun round as well, so should barely even be talking about any panic, because I don't think game agents are.
Game agents don't panic. What are you talking about? Again, we see them standard push towards B, and RB, you're right. That man with the AWP, he's going to be the point of contact. Scoped up towards 7. Is the timing on his side? Looks like it might be. First player spotted. The shot misses, though. The follow-up comes through, though. Camion there to support him. There's only one player left of Regali, and RB does not miss shots like that. It's all on Rene and Mark. Rene towards center site. He's got heads to find, and he's not got much time to do so. He finds one RB there to trade. Mark is on the slow rotation. He doesn't have too much time going, well, for him at all, with 4 players to find, and RB, he is just ruthless. A 4K secured from him, swinging wide from Connector, from that backline area, just taking down player after player of game agents.
Yeah, I just sort of, I was like, I could just sense that he was about to do something, so I just uttered RB without actually having any point to it, but I just sort of was thinking,
I got it
my spidey senses. Yeah, my spidey senses were tingling for sure. RB, yeah, just being ruthless there. That's exactly the word. Game agents seem to be favoring this B site more and more, but I mean, if RB's going to be popping up every now and then with Sebi taking control initially, I don't see why you would go over there. Instead, why not just have opponents to have their backs turned? I was going to say all opponents didn't have their backs turned though, which ultimately was the death of Fluter. Game agents yet again in a man disadvantage. This seems to be becoming a trend a little bit.
Yeah, it is. And for Honvéd, this is a great start. I'm really, really impressed by this. It's going to be game agents coming out towards A. They've established pop control, so an execution isn't out of the realm of possibility, but with no utility, they're going to have to brute force it. RB, he finds Marcus, who tries to leave main. Cammy is going to be there to support him, making it his 9th, on for his 10th now, and he's just having a phenomenal game so far. Cupix finds Rene, and the game agents, they're going to go on to another buy, but they're going to need something to work for them fairly soon, as Camion, he's opened this game in style, 10-1 in just 5 rounds.
Yeah, lovely stuff, and I feel like Lenovo Honvéd are just firing at with all cylinders. Honestly, every player is showing up right now. I don't think we've seen a single bad performance from any one of them, and this is really what you need when you're playing against a team like Game Agents, just everyone on lock. But Regali has been able to take down one here. Camper looking to trade it out. I think Fluter has heard him, but that AWP still remains, and that AWP will kill off one and the second. Camper doing all the work here as he wins back that man advantage. Big stuff for Honvéd, even as he gets more tagged down and finally taken out. It's a 3-on-3 now, and they still have control of the A site, at least for a little bit, until Camion and Cupix fall. That probably will mark the end of the round, as well as Sebi will be backing off here.
Yeah, absolutely right. Sebi now the lone member for Lenovo Honvéd, making his way forward from Old Bomb. And to catch out these early members, doesn't have too much. Well, he has a little bit of time. Game agents, 1 versus 3 after plant. That fuse has been slapped on the round, and Sebi, he's got the timing. Fortunately, it won't matter. Smek, he spots him, turns 90 degrees, readjusts, and kills. As game agents, they find their first round for Lenovo Honvéd, though. Question is, can they reset them, or is this the start of the comeback from GA?
We'll have to see. 5-1, as you mentioned, and, well, another gun round on the cards here. Another double op setup as Lenovo are... I feel like sometimes you don't do that many mistakes but still lose, right? It's possible to not make too many and still do so, but if they just keep playing like they have, there's no reason as to why this should become a bad trend for them. And he's starting off though. Big kill. They have been getting a little caught out in some of the positions overnight, but they have been compensating quite a bit over and over. Maybe not for Regali though, who shows up with 2 frags before he goes down. Fluter will help out in that too, but still, this game agent's in that 3-on-2 now. It's looking quite worrying if Honvéd don't get this next kill, which doesn't look too likely, as the bomb is going to get carried over towards B with Mark, I think, is already pushed in there. They're, well, having to deal with a player over an A still, but B is definitely the problem right now. If Mark gets this kill, it's all over basically. He gets spotted out, but still takes it onto RB Sebi. Just that boy having to back off, at least to some extent. Well, maybe not. He's just gonna run for the smoke, alright? I don't disagree.
Respect the efforts.
Yeah, very commendable. Did you know I actually interviewed him at one point? He's a nice guy. Yeah. Cool guy for a redacted thing. No, yeah, he's a cool guy, actually. And he definitely does strike as the type of character to do those types of runs, because like they were gonna have to eco here anyway, right? The only problem is that they maybe don't have the firepower to take out another player or two, but I don't think they'll mind massively. Good start for Smek, of course, but ooh.
It's messy, but he does find one regardless, and we're going to see a fast flank from Sebi here. I'm not sure if that player behind him has spotted him. From Pop Dog, he finds one. He's on for the second. He'll make it two. And from behind, Regali, he'll miss his shot as well. Reddy's able to swing him wide and trade, but with that bomb down now in a 2 versus 2, for Game Agents, this is suddenly looking like a very dire situation. With Camion in the main, Campley is ready to swing on Camion's contacts. Fortunately, he aggresses at the wrong time. Campley finds one more. 1 versus 1. Rene shifting on forward. Contact made, and Rene will just win that. But considering Lenovo Honvéd were on an eco there, that was way too close for comforts.
Yeah, you do get that feeling, don't you? And Game Agents, well, definitely being on the comeback trail, they're going to have to watch out for any potential traps. As I mentioned at the start of the game, just after the pistol round, Lenovo, they have really good pistol rounds or ecos just because of the players on their teams, the individual prowess on those Deagles and such. So Game Agents having to watch out in those. They do get a good trade here, but RB trading it back again, keeping that advantage. They seem to be still going for A, but that feels like more of a mistake than anything. Plenty of Honvéd players over here, as Mark still is able to catch out one, possibly going for a bit more of a high IQ play. It's still going to favour Honvéd, and a tough one on free for him to be in, which I don't really favour him in.
Again, he's actually got a fairly good position though, shifting on around towards B. Unfortunately for him, there's no actual B players there to stop him. Lenovo, they know that it's going to be their chance to play retake. They know in a 3 versus 1, it's going to be fairly easy to retake, all things considered. The numbers get punched in. Mark, he goes for that plant, and it's a fairly kind of unorthodox place to be planting, so that could kind of play into his advantage right now. But Honvéd, they're moving together. They're like a mob. They're like a pack, just hunting down Mark and moving as a unit now. As it'll be that low HP player of RB leading the charge. Mark, he does need to be a bit careful. That bomb is ticking down. There are kits available, though. We'll have to see if he's able to secure it, though. First molly goes down, and it's in the perfect position. He swings wide to the other side, and the spray down goes through. Lenovo, a beautiful little retake. Bomb defused, and a 6th round found. As they lead 6-3 against Game Agents.
The sort of early comeback shutdown, then I'm not sure if you can call it a full-on comeback, considering how early in the game it still is, but I feel like that does speak to Honvéd's favour, the fact that they're able to keep themselves in the lead by some distance still. If they can get sort of to 10 rounds here in the first half, then by all means they can go into that second half in a pretty favourable fashion. I don't see it being that unrealistic either, to be honest, because Game Agents, I mean, while they have been good, plays like this have just been sometimes a bit too overwhelming for them. Q-Pix and Co have been really good at quite a few points. For Regali, I think Regali might have just been the most underrated player here. I don't think we've mentioned him nearly enough, because he's just showed up. Every time at Game Agents get around, it feels like he's the one to win it for them, you know?
Yeah,
or at least open things up.
And yeah, you said it perfectly. And honestly, I think having a reliance on one player, it can really play into your detriment, because, as you said, the second they have a slow round, it's going to go to the other side. And you need to find a way to use that player who's playing well to utilize the other 4, rather than the other 4 making that one player rise to a pedestal. And the Game Agents, I like to see them start doing that. it's a very, 3 rounds down, it's not the end of the world. They are that T side of train. It's a fairly difficult kind of side to play, as they got into a bit of default early on. A full buy coming on ahead. Unfortunately, they won't have an AWP to try and challenge Camper, or what I would assume is about to be dropped to RB, but they do have the utility to at least make it look comfortable for them.
Yeah, looks that way. Oh, though, as mentioned, but maybe that's not a problem, as they do eliminate the AWP presence on Honvéd, which I expect will be picked up rather soon, but still, that does get muted for now. It's a good pick as well to find, especially over an A, because that doesn't really alert Honvéd too much of the B presence unless that smoke gets dropped, which it has. I'm still sort of not fully convinced if Game Agents are growing B. I don't think they are. They're just faking with a bit of utility. Instead, bringing out A now with the bomb as well in hand. All 5 players. This is going to be a menacing task for anyone. Camion failing to step up to the plate, and yeah, that's round over. The 3 players here of Honvéd are going to decide to mostly save.
Yeah, and honestly, I agree with their call to save. They don't really have too much money going for them either. Game Agents, lovely little opening from both Smek and Mark, but unfortunately, we'll have to see if Game Agents can use the momentum from this to use that economy, as well as that AWP that they're going to save on Mark to make it to their 5th, or Lenovo going to shut them down before the kind of prospect of tying it up becomes a reality. We'll have to see, but unfortunately for now, it's going to be a 6-4 lead to Lenovo.
Yeah, instantly winning it back as well is definitely quite something for Game Agents to be happy about. It still feels as though this one's up in the air. As soon as Honvéd lose that lead, though, I feel like it could definitely derail from that point. So that's something that they're definitely not going to look to see in any near future. They want to keep Game Agents at a safe distance, and they'll have to win rounds like this to make that, to sort of ensure that, if you will.
Yeah, without a doubt. And, well, for Lenovo, it's going to be their chance to potentially go or hold for what is a standard A take from Game Agents. For Smek, he's making his fast push towards Sandwich. It won't matter, though. CEE Boy, he'll be able to take down Rene as he aggresses towards B upper. And unfortunately for Game Agents, 2-man disadvantage before any contact's really been made, or before kind of ground has been taken. It's going to be very, very difficult for them to pull themselves back into this round. It's going to have to be down to either heroics from Mark or one hell of a fake to kind of pull these Lenovo players away from their positions on B, and or just open up the sight for Regali and Sound.
Yeah, Mark, I think he's going to hear that. Camper, his position has been made aware now. No op to stop him peeking out as well. Mark, he's done this before, but that time it just doesn't work out. Camper was too ready for it.
Golly, missing that shot. It's uncharacteristic.
Yeah, very true. I mean, he's not got that many kills. Of course, like 10 rounds in, you almost expect more than 5 kills if we're talking about him in such a positive way. But again, those 5 kills, I feel like they've come at just the right moments in a way, where like he's got 2 kills. Yeah, exactly. The sort of, classic meme or classic just cliche of, well, it's impact frags. But yeah, like just getting the 2 kills to open up rounds that Game Agents otherwise definitely looked quite out of. I think he's done that twice, and then the other kill came in quite good time as well. So while he's only got 5 kills and maybe hasn't every shot, including that one, I still definitely think he's been quite good. But Lenovo, they keep onto their lead. As soon as you start to question them a little bit, or as soon as Game Agents do at least, they come back, and that time they looked very convincing. 5 players kept alive. They're looking good right now.
Yep, without a doubt. And for Game Agents, it's going to be they're going to need some rounds. They're going to need them fast right now. Lenovo, if they can reset Game Agents once again, it's going to kind of put them facing down the barrel of the harsh reality of 11-4. And I know Game Agents don't want to even consider that option. So they're going to need the speed push to work as the kind of lineup goes through. But look at the rotation from Lenovo. They know that Game Agents are going towards B. They've read it perfectly. And as the kind of players start stacking up, when the push comes through, there won't actually be too much utility from Lenovo to stop it, considering Camper's the only player with a molly. He's all the way back towards Ivy, so it will come down to pure aim battles now. Set piece goes out, flashes to follow, bodies to go on forward, and the push comes all the way through. Sound and Smek getting as wide as possible. Cammy, and he'll find one more, but Smek fires him through the smoke, his second of the round now. Arby stacks up towards a kind of red train now, looking for these players. He's wary of the aggression that's about to come on through. But luckily, he's cancelled out most of it. It's all down to Sound now. The only players who'd be able to get forward. He'll find Arby early on, turning back around. Camper there to find him. Smek trading yet again. Camper now the lone player. 1 versus 3. Tapping as best he can. Regali is very low, but Smek is going to make it a 4K. A beautiful little kind of show of prowess from him. As it'll be 5 rounds secured for Game Agent.
That is big. It's bigger than some of the other wins they've had in a similar position, like sort of the round before last, when they also won it in that similar fashion to keep themselves very close to Lenovo, because this time they've fundamentally broken that economy. The Eagles coming out again. Lenovo quite good on these, but they're not going to be expected to win the round regardless, and so Game Agents putting themselves in a position now where they could possibly even win out this half.
Now as Arby, he tries to find one more, he's still shut down regardless. It is down to Sebi, the lone member, and for Smek, it's just easy street. He's now at 16-9, and he's showing that he's actually he's the best player on the server right now, with a really, really strong start for Game Agents, and he might pull them back to maybe even win this half.
Yeah, that is the possibility. Lenovo are going to have to be wary of that, though, because they definitely want 9-6 from here on out. I think they kind of deserve it in one way. Actually, I think 8-7 would probably sort of fairly sort of represent what we've seen in this first half, but definitely in favor of Lenovo at least. We're definitely seeing, at least to a start here, as RB takes that first kill. Rennet looking to get into that position where Mark has been quite a few times just around Hell, and maybe getting a cheeky frag. Not going to be the case, though. Maybe. It is. He gets traded, though. That's the big thing, is Lenovo keep themselves in a 3-on-3 here. Camper needs this next frag if he wants to make it quite safe for them. Regali going down to that man mentioned, Camper. Maybe not to win the round, but certainly to make that the more realistic option here. Game Agents do still have a minute, mind you, to play around with, but Lenovo in that man advantage are definitely going to be quite happy.
Yeah, and with that, there's going to be a standard smoke going down towards B. Serbi, he needs to be very, very careful as the push starts to come on through, and because the Game Agents are going without contact, he might be caught off guard here. And that's he is. Mark will find him. RB and Camper now. 2 versus 2 to try and take this site. Camper's been able to get out of Connector, but to what avail will that work? Mark, he aggresses towards Oil. The other smoke goes down. Camper, he makes maybe a little bit too much noise there as Mark continues to make his way forward. RB just swapping places with him. And it looks like RB and Mark might just bump into each other as he backs on away. Flash goes out. Pushes on forward. Mark's going to fall. It's all on Sounds. Swinging wide, he finds the first. Turning back around. Knows the second is there. Ready for him to be caught off. RB taps that bomb once. Turning back around. Sound is perfect with playing the Sound. And it's going to be a 7-7 tie-up from Game Agents. A lovely little 1 versus 2 for him. And for Lenovo Honvéd, this kind of round is, it's kind of half is spiraling out of their control. Follow up by from Lenovo Honvéd. It's going to be fairly poor, all things considered. MP9s here and there, the odd Deagle, nothing else too extreme. As Qpix, he'll be legged down. Camion going to go for B aggression, but Rene, he'll spot it and just back away. Game Agents for an AK and kind of full buy utility to spare. It should be a fairly standard round for them.
Yeah, it looks that way. Qpix getting tagged down a little bit here, but as mentioned previously, Lenovo, they're not going to want to drop their lead. As much as it's probably quite symbolic more than anything else to just have 8-7 instead of 7-8, they're going to want to have it. RB taking the first kill, but it has been traded, and one better now for Game Agents as they start to commence. Maybe not even towards that A side, actually. Canyon picking up a kill as they start to rotate back. Canyon, he's doing all the work here with the 2K. That could be worth so much to Lenovo. It keeps them in contention here. Camper picking up an AK as well as Sebi has already rotated over towards B. They are spread a little thin. Game Age is not quite sure what to do, but they're backing now. Back towards main, at least Sound is. Look at Sebi though. He's going on quite the run here. Will he get caught out by Regali, or will it be the other way around? It seems like it's the latter. Sebi might just won that round for them as Sound is going to go down Pop Dog. Camper's already waiting for him, but he doesn't expect it at all. Camper taking the round for Lenovo. Wonderful way to win it out. And again, while it's more so symbolic than anything else, I feel like that is a big statement to make just for that second half. It was close all the way through this half. Lovely one. Honestly, it was so entertaining at so many points. So much quality here, Kremer, to witness. Lenovo, I think, quite fairly taking it in the end. 8-7 seems like a pretty fair scoreline to me.
Yeah, without a doubt. And I love how close this game is. We had a fairly one-sided affair. We knew it would be one-sided. It was one-sided. And, you know, that was our opening game. Fair enough. But this is a lot more like it. A tied-up game between these two members. Rene on Ivy. He'll spot the push as it comes through from Lenovo. Swing early on, just about being spotted. He'll swing wide with that USB, taking down Cupix. A lovely little drive-by from him. As for Lenovo, it's going to be a standard kind of swing from both Ivy and Main. Smek finding Camion, despite the fact he's been dinks, as the lone members come through. C-Boy, he'll be spotted early on as Rennie finds his second on for the third as Camper tries to pressure him down, but Smek from behind will strike. RB now, he's got 5 players actually left to find. He's got a minute to do so, and just some armor to work with.
Not much else, though, going for him. As game agents will tie this game up quicker than Lenovo could get back that lead. And, well, probably going to be taking the lead as well, right? Without that bomb plant for Lenovo, with the bomb all the way over in Ivy. I do feel as though game agents are going to be taking the lead for the first time in this game sooner rather than later, but at least it stays close, because, you know, maybe that round did play some part, the 8-7 one, because at this point now, if all goes to plan, oh my god, they're force buying. Scratch that about going to plan. I feel like Lenovo are here to take the round instantly. They don't want to drop it. They don't want to let game agents take over this game and take the lead. They're going straight in here, Kremer, and I like it. I'm all here for it. The Deagle's coming out. They could wreak some havoc here, or it could be a disaster and they drop out a couple rounds, but either way, this is going to play a massive part in how this game's going to go this round.
It is, and they've got smokes to do so the set piece goes on out. They've got, I guess, the firepower, but look at that util damage. Sound finding one through the smoke, looking for more. The flashes go on off. Regali now looking for some of his own, but Cupix actually going to take him down as Sound now looks to hold it. Camper will find him. And now, actually, this is looking a bit scary for game agents. The rifles do come through, so these long-range battles are suddenly going to go a lot more. Well, I say that. Cupix has a thing or two to think about that. Smek going to be taken down. Marks through the smoke. Brett at the right time might find C-Boy as Rennie finds one. Follow-up push about to come through as Mark just makes his way through from upper. Camper, is the timing with him? No, it's not. Mark finds one. It will be down to Cupix now with this kind of aggressive positioning. Are we going to be spotted? That bomb is ticking very, very quickly. It's Mark spotted early on. Cupix from behind will spot the first and the second. Oh my god, that was good from Lenovo. A 4K from Cupix. And you said it already, that was a very, very unconventional buy, but it worked for them. Those AK or those Eagles came out. They almost better than AKs, as they make it 9-8 off the back of some utter heroics from Cupix there.
I've been hyping it up, Kremer. The pistols, the Deagles, all game. About time we saw some of it.
You have.
Cupix, what a round. Again, we saw it in the first pistol round, but that is just remarkable, honestly. The Deagle play there on display. Him having the patience as well in the 1-on-2 to just stand around, wait, and then time it to perfection. Just so crisp as well. Cupix, I mean, you couldn't have done that better if you tried. seeing some of the replays here from that second half. I think it's mostly Cupix, though. That round from him, remarkable stuff. The 4K, at least the first 2 kills. The second 2 were apparently nothing to look at for a second time. But yeah, just the round as a whole, right, for Cupix, it's his show in that round. And it's Lenovo holding onto the lead. It was a bold move, and we both knew it, but we didn't really know if it was going to work out, but it really has. Look at that economy for Game Agents.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Game Agents, they kind of bought into that thinking it would be bonus. We saw a lot of MP9s come through, the odd FAMAS here or there. Now it's been look at that shot from Cupix. That's just pure,
oh my,
pure filth from him.
Wow, incredible.
And that round, it's kind of sent a kind of shockwave to Game Agents, especially to their wallets, where a lot of them only have 2K to their name. It's kind of double eco territory, and from there, it's going to be really, really difficult to kind of pull themselves back, because they have to hand Lenovo this 10th round of what could potentially be a force, and then it goes into an eco, that's an 11th, and at that point, they don't have many rounds left to play with.
And all based on Cupix just being a bit cheeky, especially in slow motion. It is quite satisfying, isn't it?
Oh, it is. His slow motion, it just looks even more just. God, he shouldn't be allowed to do that, should he? But
yeah,
this
is
a time and a place to be fixed.
No, yeah, the fact that he wasn't cleared, I mean, it just makes for a more entertaining round, put it that way. Maybe Game Engines are just to entertain, who knows? Oh, there definitely are. You know what, Kremer? They definitely are. Look at that Seuss. They are here to entertain and entertain only. Oh, he's gonna jump up. Oh, he misses. Did he hit the
scary?
I feel like
I think
it's possible. You don't really see that.
If he did.
Yeah, the body block with the Molotov. That's quite the story. How I was saved from death from a Molotov cocktail AMA. It's going to be coming up soon after Cupix gets a few more, as per usual.
How I single-handedly destroyed Game Agents AMA from Cupix. So now he's got 3 players to find, as well, he's the only one really fighting right now, and he does only have, every time they try and push him, Cupix just from behind just destroys them.
Yeah.
Saudi's been able to save an M4. That was the player caught out an Ivy. That was RB falling. He's just going to take that. He'll fall on away with that. And Mark, he'll find C-Boy as well, but, so, you know, is it worth it? Like, is that what all you can find? As Cammy, it's actually going to swing wide. Sound, he won't even save the M4. So, Mark didn't find the gun either. So, Game Agents, they didn't save anything. That round was kind of a bust for them. As Lenovo, they go into another buy, and Game Agents, they're running out of options.
Yeah, they really are. Game Agents now. I mean, if Cupix had an AMA like that, he might as well just write an autobiography, to be honest. So, we'll see about that in future. But as Lenovo do have double digits now, and we're going to push on through, kick on from here. Game Agents are being left in the dust if things continue like this. Garley still trying, of course, but yeah, not much to gain there. Free players live. It's not ideal, but I don't think they're going to complain massively, right? Where with the economy that they already have now, it's again not going to be a massive issue at all.
Yeah, without a doubt. And well, for Game Agents, this is going to be their chance to pull themselves back into this. The full buy comes through for Lenovo. They're going to see AKs round the board pretty much, the odd AWP here or there. And there is an AWP on Game Agents, but look at their economy. 2 of their players, they're on a 3 are on 50, one's on exactly 0. If they lose this round, and if they lose it without saving any guns, it's going to be a cataclysmic problem for them. As Lenovo, they set themselves up for what is potentially going to be a bit of a B-take right now. Just line themselves up. There are 2 players from Game Agents. They've read it well. They do have some aggression coming forward on A as well to prevent any kind of presence shown towards main. The question is, are they prepared enough? It looks like Lenovo, no funny business here. No fakes, no early picks. It's just a straight B execute. Will it work for them? The AG of Regali, fairly unconventional buy from a conventional position. Can he make it work?
Sound certainly being questioned here as he runs up in all types of spots. He does get taken out after just one frag, and it's not good enough so far for Game Agents. Regali might just have to get one of his famous 2Ks here, Kremer, as Mark does get a kill back to 3-on-3 with the bomb now down. Regali creeping in, he gets one. That's massive. That makes it. So Cupix is having to be challenged yet again, but you don't really challenge him, do you? Maybe you do. It's all on Sebi instead. In a 1-on-2. Turned from a 1-on-3. He's getting op-shotted at, but he's just running out. I thought he had the right timing. He had the right idea. But just not going to be... not going to have the margins in his favor this time with Brenna on 19 and Mark on 8, both staying alive and winning the round.
I tell you what, every time I see one of these kind of Lenovo players in heaven ready to swing, I just get excited. I feel like every time they do it, we see something fun. And Game Agents, even though they won that round, they only had about 20 HP apiece, as they are going to be able to justify another buy on either side, but this time no AWP from Lenovo. It's AKs around the board, and because of the kills they're able to get on Game Agents, neither team has got an established economy. This round pretty much counts as double, because the other team's going on to either a Force or an Eco after, so this is really where things matter. Arby, he's going to try and take early IV control. Spot his players early on, just teasing a bit of a peek right now, trying to base out that AWP shot that nothing found. There are lone players of Lenovo, though. Their sole intention will be this B site. They've had success on it before. They had almost success on it last round. Will they have success on it now? As it sounds, he's going to have to be the man who rises to the platter now. The man with the responsibility landing firmly on his shoulders.
Yep. Yeah, again, last time just a trade, but this time might need a bit more. He does get one here. Not much else done. Instead, it's Regali to step into those big boy shoes yet again. He's got him filled out quite nicely, it seems, although Mark is always the one to help out as well. It feels like maybe not a mirror of last round, but certainly close to it. Arby now, the change from last time is that he's just trying to come in at a flanking angle. As Camper's just hiding around, waiting for RB to get his advantage, but not going to happen. Mark somehow flicks around, and that's possibly going to win the game. Or the round, rather, sorry.
Game? That's how we get ahead of ourselves, yeah. Stromers.
Exactly. The kit. Why are they? Yeah, alright. The kit, since they had a kit, I mean, wasn't a massive issue for Game Agents. As they didn't win the game, maybe not even close to it, but the round at least. This might just be, I'm calling it 2 games in here, Kremer. This might just become one of the games of the group stage at this pace. Obviously, me saying that is going to jinx it massively, but like, it's looking to head in that direction so far. The way this has played out, so many clutches, so many quality plays. I mean, it's been remarkable. And it's a bit of
remember when I said this game would be a really insane one to look at, and you bullied me for saying it was because it was only one of my games? But you're regretting that now, aren't you? As
I'm agreeing. I agree.
You'll make it 2.
I'm agreeing now.
Yeah, Lenovo. Yeah, that's what I thought. Lenovo, with 3 players left alive for them, it is just some deagles around the board. They are only looking to do some damage. Again, it is just deagles around the board. You're not looking to win a round. You're just looking to kind of keep that Game Agents economy honest, but I don't even think they'll get that. Game Agents, they look fairly comfortable right now. It looks like aggression towards A main from Smek will be a fairly easy kill for him. I say that as C-Boy finds him. As well as in Ivy. Mark spotted. Oh, he's quick there to find Cammy. And Regali going to find C-Boy. And for Game Agents as well, this is when that double AWP setup comes through. But more importantly, they started getting the economy behind it. It means that if they do lose that double AWP setup, it doesn't hit them as hard. They don't really feel it as hard as if they'd only freshly got out these 2 AWPs. Yeah,
and Game Agents, I mean, them sort of picking up at their around like that, it feels like they're almost speeding up more and more. Lenovo are going to have to stop it maybe in this round, otherwise Game Agents might just not be containable at all. We are going to be looking at a couple more interesting rounds though still, but I feel like this one, obviously if it keeps going at this rate, we're just going to get more and more close and important rounds, but this one is definitely up there for one of the most important ones of how the rest of the games plays out. If Lenovo lose this one, it's going to be hard to come back from it, not just mentally, but just in general. But just as well, Game Age is not going to be happy if they lose this one. Sound kicking it off with one, does get traded, and it's actually favoured Lenovo this time in some fashion, despite being a 3-on-3. They're going to take that massive advantage almost that they have inherently, with Cupix walking up now, looking to stir the pot. He's being looked at. Oh, yes, he is. Rennet taking him out now, and it's a 3-on-2 in Game Agent's favour. Camper needing that extract, taking that extract. Canyon helping out. Rennet will be all alone now in a very tight spot. He's got a kit, of course, but yeah, he's just going to start to take another approach to it. Might just run away with the AWP here, to be honest. Oh, yeah, yes.
Yeah.
All right.
And for Lenovo, that kind of shows just how good their trades are, just how good their teamwork is, to be able to just instantly trade back, especially that Smek, who was kind of sat behind Spindle there. You don't really expect to... Like, you expect him to swing, you expect him to kill him then, but no, Lenovo, they brought the fight to him, they spammed him down, they turned their attention back towards the site, and they kept aggressing. And B site on train is very tricky, because usually when you get a plant, the most important part behind that, I'm saying this now because we have a timeout, a B site on train is very, very difficult to hold, simply because a lot of players, they get that plant and they just want to get off the site, they want to go up ramp, they want to go back up to heaven, and for a CT aggressor, that's 2 smokes and you've won the round. A third, or 1 even if you just want to drop it on the bomb, a third if you just want to put out a molly. What you need to do is, once you've got that bomb planted, you need to bomb it forward to back line. And if you don't get there in time, if Game Agents' rotation beats you to that push, you're going to be at a massive detriment when their retake comes through. So watching, I think it was Cupix there, just get towards Red Train, be able to hold Connector, even if he doesn't kill anyone, the fact he's made that space for Lenovo meant that Game Agents, by the time their retake came through, the whole of Lenovo were able to dig in, they had their afterplant positions, and they were ready to hold any push.
Yeah, and I think the fact that Sound, obviously not maybe the whole the star of the team, but he's been massively consistent in the way that he's just been able to get that one frag over on ramp and then die. Like, that doesn't seem very glamorous. That doesn't even seem like a favorable trade in any way. But the fact that he keeps on doing that, never really going down without taking at least one down with him, that is so massive for Game Agents, because, as you mentioned, it sort of keeps them in contention as long as they can shut it down on the retake, which they have been able to do quite a few times. Then I feel like that's going to continue. Smek and Mark both as well, by the way, have really stepped into to those sort of slightly before the full rotation comes, just getting another kill on the board, and either having the man advantage or at least drawing it to like a 3-on-3 is big. 12-11. As we've mentioned, though, and well, if Lenovo win this one, it's hard to say Game Agents come back from it, to be honest.
Yeah, without a doubt. This is Lenovo's chance to kind of cement a lead.
Yeah.
Question being for Game Agents, can they hold it? Markill opened up, taking down Z-Boy, and as the follow-up comes through, there's no trade from Lenovo. Running towards Ivy, a flash at the right time could be perfect for him. He's looking to try and get out. Nothing found yet. Sound boosted up. Smek finds one. Cupix turns around, and that's just a melt from Lenovo.
Wow.
Instantly, Game Agents attack, and they collapse on that site as one. Like some waves breaking over some rocks. Lenovo are going to lose that round, and Game Agents, they're going to tie it up 12-12.
Blink and you miss it type of stuff. Really was. Game Agents just... Again, that Iron Fist coming out at the right time. It's completely used a word that it's hard to not use in that situation. Just melt whatever attack Lenovo we're going for. But yeah, with a 12-all scoreline, Lenovo are back to the Eagles, which maybe they're not happy with, but I'm quite happy with, because then we might just get to see more of Cupix and more of the others as well, that are just so good with these Deagles. So many crisp shots that could come out of this.
Yeah, absolutely right. And Deagles are kind of unpredictable by nature. Like, sometimes you see players take out a whole, 4Ks all by themselves. Other times it's a wipe. Fortunately, regardless, you'll find Z-Boy early on. It means that the remaining players for Lenovo do have to be a bit more passive towards Ivy. Rennie is going to be the only player who can really prevent this push, as he'll just sit back towards Green Train, but the attention is drawn towards CT. Regali needs to be careful. Marks finds one, Regali onto the other. Kamian is able to respond, but Sound gets the final say on it. Camper is the lone member now. Coming out of B with this P250, and he's done what he's needed to. This plant is going to make this whole round worth it for Lenovo Honvéd. The Game Agents, though, it will give them a chance to kind of come up into the lead. Camper, if you can do a bit of damage, awesome. If not, doesn't matter. They got the plant, they got the odd kill, and it's going to cement them with a fairly convincing buy going into the next.
Yeah, and that was what they were there for. Well, we were there for just watching some nice legal kills. That wasn't really the goal, was it? So, yep. 12-13 now, as mentioned, though, and we keep mentioning, well, if they don't win this round, then the other team might just drop it and they get to run away with it. But it keeps happening for both teams, and so yet again, I have to say, if Game Agents win it, they might just run away with it here. But Lenovo, I've said it before, when they start to get counted out a little bit, then that's exactly when they excel. They do start off with a bit of good damage on towards Regali, but do lose the early man and are left in 4-on-5. Oh, a 3-on-5 Mark.
Mark, that's
showing
insane
up
from him. That is a perfect little start for these players. The question is, where's the response? Rene, he sat back towards Ivy. He doesn't want to commit too heavily just yet. And we'll have to see what sort of response comes on through. With a 2-man disadvantage, they're going to have to try something fast. They can't afford for things to go this sort of pear-shaped if they're not careful.
Smoke thrown out here. They seem to be approaching this A site now. There's 3 players to face here with 40 seconds left. Smek seems to be taking that first point of contact, or maybe it's going to be Ren instead, as he and Mark get a kill each. All of a sudden, it's Q-Pix in a 1-on-5. And as much as he's a brilliant player, he's not winning a 1-on-5, is he? He's not even getting a frag here. Game Agents shutting it down 14-12, and they're not far away from match point now. All they have to do is win one round against the possible Deagle bye, which may be easier said than done, especially against Lenovo, but they're close to it regardless. Yeah, that bye does come out, which... how does it look, Kremer? What do you think? Are they going to win this round, really, Lenovo?
It looks scary. They're going to need to get this early kill on the AWP. Regali, he'll find one. That molly drop is just perfect utility damage there. And what a nose go onto Q-Pix. And I tell you what, you asked me if they're going to win it. If Regali is going to hit... It's almost as if scoping doesn't apply to him. When he's scoped in, he hits shots. When he's unscoped in, he still hits shots. There's no kind of disadvantage to scoping in for him, as he's going to make it 15 for Game Agents. And for Lenovo, they had a really, really good performance here. I think we both said that Game Agents are the favourites, but Lenovo, they have definitely performed, and I think they're a team to fear going into future games. We say it like it's over. They still have a buy ahead of them. They've got that SG on Q-Pix, and they have got some Game Agents players to kill. Question is, are they able to? We're going to see Smek invading A main early on, almost bumping into Camper, but he is just holding firm. Mark on Ivy will spot this push come through as well from RB. Early shot rings out. Luckily, the player wasn't top of the bin, or he would be long dead. As Mark again looks to reaggress, actually teasing a push. This will spam through that smoke, looking for some players early on, and Lenovo, they're being a bit more passive and they're being a bit more disciplined than you'd expect.
Yeah, looks that way. Game Agents, though, I think this is really when it gets to both teams just being a bit tense. Neither really wants to lose it here, but Smek has shown up. It's the individuals showing up at just the right moments for Game Agents, which seems to be putting them in the lead here and possibly in the win column. Because with 3 players alive, Lenovo are going to have to pull it out of nowhere. Smek keeps on fragging, and Regali may have just closed out this game now with RB going down. It's 16 for Game Agents as they take it in the end. What a game, Kremer. That was remarkable stuff. I feel like
you're absolutely right.